it's Zizi here. My passion for calligraphy started when I was a little kid. As I'm talking to you now, I've been doing calligraphy for more than 20 years, and I'm glad to see this dying art become lively again. If you're interested in picking this as a hobby, this video is for you. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the basic tools and supplies you need to start your point-to-pen calligraphy journey. There are many different options or choices when it comes to calligraphy supplies, and some of them can be very expensive. But today, I'm going to introduce you to the tools and the supplies I commonly use. They are inexpensive, which I think is good for the beginners who don't know yet if this is something they like to continue doing. Lip or pen holder? Well, let's kick it off. The first one I want to talk about is lip holder. Most of my lip holders are from Lewis Creation. This one is called Moblique, the 2-in-1 pen holder. It is affordable. The basic one costs less than 14 Aussie dollars. And it is good enough for new users to explore on different nips, as its flange can fit most of the popular nips, and it is adjustable if needed. It can also be used as a straight holder, as well as an oblique holder, which people would use to write in a slant angle. It makes it smoother to write and reduces the damage to the nib, which is caused by the friction between the nib and paper. Also, all the flanges of the Mobliques are preset on an angle. With the flange fitted in, the flange is pointed a bit upward like this, and the nib should glide smoothly on the paper and will not be caught into the paper. But if you have a unique way that you hold your pen, you may need to adjust the angle yourself. On top of all these, it has a secret compartment in the tummy which can hold up to 4 or 5 nibs at a time. This gem is selling all over the world. You can go to Lewis Creation website and find out the Stockist selling them in your country. Look at this one, my favorite. It is a mix and match of 2 Mobliques and with an accessory, an eternity ring around it. Nibs. The next things I want to talk about are pointed nibs. There are I don't know how many types of nibs out there. I've picked 2 which I think are good for the beginners. The official name of this one is very long. I don't think anybody uses it. People usually call it Blancy 2552. This is one of my favorites. It is flexible and can produce good contrast between thin and thick strokes. The other one is Nikoji nib. It is a medium flex nib that is tolerant of a new users putting too much pressure on it when they're trying to make it fix downstrokes. As I say, there are many other nibs out there for you to explore if you think calligraphy is your things to go to. Ink. Righto, it comes to ink. For black ink, I'm not fussy. I use any sumi ink I can get from any supply stores. And this one I've got, it's from Daiso, a chained Japanese grocery store. $2.80 for a big bottle like this. I think they have it in the United States for $1.50. Ink jar. I'd use any little glass jar that is deep enough to hold the ink to cover the eyelet of the nib. I think 3 cm deep is minimum. This one I use is from Lewis Creation. You can find it in his online store. Paper. And the last thing you can't do without is paper. For practice, the paper I'd recommend to get is LaserJet printer paper. You can get them in bulk and cheap. Other than that, any bleed-proof printer paper will do. You can have them printed on every page you write if you like, or you can just print one copy and put it underneath the paper as an underlined paper. I have them in vertical and horizontal on my website for your free download. When you have everything ready, we can prepare the nib to write. All the new nibs usually have a layer of oil or wax to protect them from rust. If you do not remove that layer of coating, the ink will not be able to stick properly to the nib. Then you will not be able to write. There are several ways people would choose to remove that coating. And what I do is simply wipe it with some nail polish remover. Be careful not to wipe it when it's in the holder, as you may damage the surface of the holder if the nail polish remover accidentally touches the holder. I learned it the hard way. Now, we have the nib ready. I'll show you how to load the ink into the nib. Dip the nib into the ink. Make sure the ink covers the eyelet, which is used to hold the ink and release while you write. If you don't have it filled up, you will have to dip your ink very frequently. After you have loaded the ink, tap the lip along the rim of the jar to get rid of the excess ink. If not, the ink will drip while you write. That's it for this video. In my next video, I'll show you how to write some basic strokes so you can start practicing. Please give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and subscribe to my channel. In order to make learning more fun, instead of writing alphabets like most people do, I've designed a series of 26 episodes to show you how to write 26 sentiments and words. From them, you'll be able to learn all 26 capitals, lower cases, and 26 beautiful words. Thank you for watching, and see you in my next video. Until then, be chill.